All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to a very rare solo episode of the podcast. For those of you who don't already know, the mission of this podcast is to bring on people, usually guests, with the knowledge, insights, and experiences that hopefully will help you move the dial towards becoming the best version of yourself. Now, the reason I don't do a whole lot of solo episodes, well, there's a few. One, I really enjoy approaching conversations with the curiosity of learning from these successful, inspiring people. I like the idea of sharing with everybody else perspectives beyond mine. And also, I do Trev Talks, which I like to kind of just give the meat and potatoes of my thoughts, my philosophies, questions that I like to pose to all of you. But this topic in particular, I think will probably take longer than 5 minutes. And so I really want to give it the respect that it deserves, especially at this time of the year. So if you read the title, you already know what I'm going to talk about. But before I get into it, just kind of the standard YouTube spiel. If you like this video, please go ahead and click that like button. Get ready because 2023, this content is going to just keep getting better and better. So click subscribe. It's just going to keep improving. And if you have questions, comments, agreements, disagreements, on anything that I talk about, throw it in the comments. But for today, I want to talk about the very fun topic that is New Year's resolutions, starting off the year strong, all of that craziness that comes with all the varying advice and, standards and all the things that come with starting the new year, bookending it. And I'm just going to run through more or less what I do, or at least from having, thrown mud at the wall for years, seeing what sticks and what works well, you know, past 2 weeks into the year. And then what are some things that, at least for me, I've tried and, gurus and experts have talked about it and sworn by it, but it just hasn't worked for me. So let's dive in. The first thing that I do, I think about it as addition by subtraction. A guy named Jesse Itzler, who I've talked about numerous times on the podcast and with anyone who will listen. He is a serial entrepreneur. He's just a very inspiring guy. And one thing that he was talking about in December is kind of like a clean slate protocol. Now, this was something that I've been doing the last few years that I just didn't have necessarily a name for. And I love the idea of clean slate protocol because it is the epitome of addition by subtraction. So with the clean slate protocol, the first thing I do, I essentially think of this as open season on anything that isn't providing purpose, peace, or profit in life. Obviously, there are a lot of things that can go through that filter. So I'm going to go through my checklist. So the first one is clothes. Any clothes that I did not wear, no matter how much sentimental value, these are just my values. If I have not worn it that year, now I have stuff for, like, I have a Christmas sweater that I'll wear once or twice a year. I have stuff for different special occasions that I'll hold on to just because it's fun. But for the most part, any clothes, I'll bag them up, I'll get them ready to rock, and I'll donate them. Right alongside that is just stuff. So any stuff that, I bought out of impulse that I don't really use, that is very unnecessary for the life that I'm living, and I don't see a use for it coming down the pipeline anytime in the near future. If it's not garbage, I will throw it in the donation pile and I will donate it. If it is garbage, I will throw it in the garbage can. But making sure that I'm getting rid of that clutter, because there are, studies, and I can't quote them, I'm sorry, but there are studies that have shown there is a tie from physical clutter, physical mess, and mental and emotional mess. When you make sure to intentionally declutter your physical external reality, there's something that just tends to happen that allows you to reduce mental and emotional stress and clutter. So donating clothes, donating/throwing out unnecessary stuff, that's going to be the first part. And it's super easy. It's not like I have a ton of clothes to start, so I just ditch that stuff. After that, I go into my photos and videos, and I am someone who notoriously will accidentally click and take a photo before a video, or I record a video for this and then it's still in like 6 different places, which I really just don't need or want. And so, open season on any photos or videos that don't really light me up and provide to me that sense of nostalgia that comes from a documented still frame of my life. So get rid of clothes, get rid of stuff, and then take to the technology, get rid of photos and videos, go through my email. My email, because it's not just my personal email, it's the Trevor email, the Best Self email, and the BSW email. And going through all of those and just getting rid of all of the junk, and not just getting rid of it, but unsubscribing from the things that I don't want to keep having to just go through and trash. And so that's kind of my just little pro tip on that one is don't just, if you have a subscription to an email that you have no use for and you keep just deleting it, I urge you just unsubscribe. Take some time, rip through your email list, unsubscribe from the things that don't provide value or don't provide value. You don't need them. Unsubscribe. Life would be good. Bada bing, bada boom. This next one, I go to social media, and this one is going to come across a little differently, but I heard a guy named Mike Malak talk about this. He's a social media influencer, YouTuber, and he talks about something along the lines of every 6 months he goes, it's open season on my people I follow on social media. And I find that so true, especially in the energy that is New Year's and this fresh start, which I'll get into that down the road. But there are so many people, at least I'll find fascinating for a very particular subject I'm working on. So I'll click follow and I try to, I don't know anything about the algorithm, but in my complete naivety, I try to flood my page with their content for just that short stint of time. And then when I stop interacting with it, I stop seeing it on my page, but that doesn't mean I stop following it. So it might pop up, and again, value. That to me, peace, purpose, profit. That's kind of the filter that I'm using. Again, there are probably other things in there, joy, all that. Peace, purpose, profit. P3, boom. So it is open season on the people who I feel don't provide anything positive when it comes to following them on social media. These are the people who complain all the time, or people who, are obviously falsely portraying something that, and this is on me, this is my responsibility, it's no fault of theirs, but when people show their highlight reel and it's something that, sparks comparison in me or jealousy in me, obviously those are things that I need to work on from an internal perspective. But at the same rate, that doesn't mean I should just be intentionally exposing myself to those things on that regular of a basis, which is multiple times a day, every day. So open season on clothes, stuff, photos, videos, email, social media following. And then the last thing I do for this whole clean slate protocol is what I call an energy audit. I've talked about this before, but I'll go through it. It is quite literally, and the stuff earlier on the list is an adage to this, but it's an energy audit of any energy that's coming in. So this is, from things as minuscule as the type of alarm clock that wakes me up in the morning. So there's a frantic energy that comes from when you have the alarm clock that's just like bang, bang, bang. That it kind of jolts you up, as opposed to I just got as a gift, so thank you, the person who gave that to me, a sunrise alarm clock, and it has nature sounds that gradually increase in volume. It has not obviously natural sunlight, but like a sunny colored light, like a red light or like an orange light that gradually turns on over 15-20 minutes. And so it gradually wakes you up just like natural light and nature would. And so there's just like stuff as minuscule as that. The people who I'm spending time with, the projects that I'm spending time on, the books I'm reading, the podcasts I'm listening to, if I watch TV, the shows that I'm watching, every input, everything that's coming in, every aspect of energy that I'm receiving that could be then transferring into the energy that I'm putting out into the world. I try my best to really take a good amount of time in December and just nitpick every little thing so that I can make necessary adjustments to have a strong start in Q1 of each year. So that's the clean slate protocol. Let me know what you do for this. So if there are things on there that you do and they work, let the people know. If there's things that you do or did on that sheet that didn't work, let the people know. I'm not saying my word is like the be all end all. This is just what I do that has worked for me. So clean slate protocol, that's the first thing. The second thing, I guess we'll call it 2A and 2B, is I create my bucket list and my hit list. So my yearly bucket list, that's the more fun things. That's like travel and, hobbies that I want to do and fun little passion projects I want to work on. And then hit list is that's the very serial, what I choose to take very seriously. So like Project Ultra is on my hit list. Every aspect of Project Ultra, the fundraising goals that I have, running 100 miles, doing the 5 triathlons in 5 days, getting over 200 people from the community total between both events involved. That I am choosing to take very seriously and put some pressure on myself for. And so that goes onto the hit list. My finance goals, hit list. My business goals, hit list. And then kind of, again, the lighter fun things, those go on the bucket list. But the two lists that I use to determine these things, there's the external reality list, and then there's the Tony Robbins 6 basic human needs. So I'll start with the external reality, at least the filter that I put on it. So I rank things on this list, at least as it stands for me when I go through it. So, and this is not in the order, I just wrote them down as I remembered them, but business or career, finance, relationships, and relationships could be a few different subcategories, fitness and health, charity, hobbies, and I include travel and hobbies because it's a hobby of mine, spirituality, if applicable, and education. So that's the 8 areas of external reality that I really try to think about, like, where am I? What's my ideal? And then how do I start closing that gap, right? How do I evolve in that area in particular? And I'll get to how to do that in a second. But the 6 human needs from your boy Tony Robbins is security or comfort, variety, love and connection, significance, growth, and contribution. So I have those 2 separate filters, the external and the internal, and then based on like what's my ideal for business, what's my ideal for love and connection, and some of these kind of work in tandems, like relationships, love and connection, charity, significance, things like that. Now, what I do to take this a step further is obviously there are processes and then there are outcomes that I want to make come to fruition in the year 2023, but I then start to reverse engineer it. I pick that process or that outcome apart to figure out, okay, if this truly is what I want out of the year, these are all of the things that I want to make sure happen. What are the daily and weekly habits that will make sure that comes to fruition? So this is where, and I've heard both camps. There are some people who say New Year's resolutions are a waste of time. Most people fail. And then I hear people who are in the camp of, no, it's a good time to, make known what you want out of the year ahead. I'm in the camp of make known what you want out of the year ahead, but understand that there's a reason other people say it's a stupid thing to do. And it's because you have to really show the resolutions you have the respect that they deserve, because I think it's easy to simply write down a whole bunch of exciting stuff while you're excited, and then as soon as you're no longer excited, it all goes away. Instead, take the time to think of, why do I want this thing? What is going to be the most challenging part of going after this thing? And is going through that worth having the thing? What are the processes to get to that outcome? What are the habits to allow that process to sustain itself? Really putting it under a microscope, reverse engineering it, questioning it, debating it with yourself, being your own soundboard until you have crystal clear clarity on what you want, why you want it, how you're going to get it, what might get in your way, and how you can navigate that. So that's how I break all of that down with the bucket list and the hit list. And then the last thing that I think about, and I've been talking to a lot of my clients about this as well, is what is your mission statement for the year? And this could be longer than the whole year. It might shift as the year goes on. But again, as it stands now, what is your mission statement? So mine, I feel, has been similar, if not the exact same, for a couple years now. And, it's my company's names. It is the message that I try to be the example for. Obviously, I fall short. I'm human. But the message to me is bulletproof. And so my mission, as it stands now, is to consistently and relentlessly be in pursuit of the best version of myself while helping others do the same. Now, my best self could change and flow from moment to moment, day to day, with knowledge, experiences, connections with new people, all of these things. And I think it would be naive to assume that there's just one set target that is your best self. And once you get to there, boom, you're good. You can hit cruise control. It's this ever-changing target that, to me, the infinite nature of that game is actually very exciting. It can be frustrating, but it's very exciting. So that's my mission statement, and that is all of the things that I like to do just to help set myself up for success. So addition by subtraction, clearing out all of the clutter, whether that's physical stuff in my phone, stuff on social media, different inputs, different things that are not providing peace, purpose, or profit. And I think another part of that is setting healthy boundaries with people. There's been a quote that I really enjoy, and I've said it before on different episodes, which is, and I can't remember who I originally heard this from, but they said, my love is unconditional. It might have been Rob Dyrdek. I don't know. He says, my love is unconditional. You're my friend. I will love you unconditionally. But the thing is, my time is very conditional. And more, almost it seems like at an exponential rate, I'm getting very picky with my time. And that is who I'm spending my time with. And I don't even like saying spending my time with, who I'm investing my time in. Because, and I don't even want that to sound transactional. There are different relationships that are, whether it comes from like the business world where it's I'm trying to win and you're trying to win, so how can we both win? Different things like that. But when I say invest my time, there's an ROI, a return on investment, that comes from the joy that certain people provide me when I'm with them. And as far as they've said, that is definitely a reciprocated energy transference. And so that's what I'm talking about, where that's something to look at. Like, are there people that inherently allow you to be the most authentic version of yourself while simultaneously lighting you up, cheering you on, challenging you in a non-confrontational but curious way, and just allowing you to feel free and energized? And so that's something to think about when it comes to all that. So that's my process. But I want to get into a few other things that I think are or can be traps when it comes to New Year's. Now, another quote, if you couldn't tell, I'm a big quotes guy. If this is your first time listening in on one of these, Tony Robbins often talks about, and I don't know if he's the one who originally quotes this, but he says human beings often underestimate or overestimate what they can do in a year and drastically underestimate what they can do in a decade. Now, I would much rather aim super high and fall short than aim for like realistic and average and hit that and be like, all right, I hit it, we're good. Like life is good, no need to worry. And so I'm okay with falling short. I have done that many times. I'm going to do it many more times. But keep in mind that the bigger you dream, the more things you put on your hit list, on your bucket list, the more habits you try to adopt. That is a skill. That is a muscle that is developed over time. The ability to pursue multiple things at a high level. And I broke down all of those things, but in reality, there are maybe, I will say, 2 to at absolute most like 4 things that I get very serious and consistent about at once. And I only stack up to 4 if I feel automated and consistently at a good level in the areas of my life that I'm going to shift into maintenance mode. Credits and debits, right? And so that's where, like, yes, there are a ton of things on my list, but they are prioritized where it's like these few things, those are the meat and potatoes of the year. If I can crush those things, Project Ultra, business stuff, my finances, and my relationships, those are the 4 areas, and I have very crystal clear intentions on what it will take to feel fulfilled in the evolution of those areas of my life this year. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not gonna, do hobbies or devote time for spiritual practice, but those are things that I have down pat and I feel are in a great place. And the things that I really want to push and evolve with are those few things. So thinking about what are the few meat and potatoes items, I just noticed I got way off track. But still, the few meat and potatoes items, what are the things that can kind of go on maintenance mode that you feel really good at, and just make sure that it's automated and you're able to kind of rip through and feel fulfilled and satisfied without trying to stack too much on. And then what are the things that it's just time to get rid of and let go of, and not even out of malicious intent, but out of a sense of gratitude for the role those people, things, energies played in your life to get you to where you are, and just understanding that now you're on a path that diverges from that thing, that person. And you can do that with a sense of love and gratitude. It doesn't have to be malicious. So all that being said, just kind of bookending, yes, if you're a big thinker, big dreamer, you will probably have a lot of things on your list. Make sure that you are developing the skill of being able to pursue at a high level, at a fast rate, in a way that doesn't make you lose enthusiasm or passion for what you're going after. The next thing I want to talk about, because one side of me does understand there is an inherent energy of new beginnings and clean slates and fresh starts that comes with New Year's. It's 1/1 on the calendar, that clean slate, that fresh start. But I think, unfortunately, there are a lot of people who upplay just how fresh of a start it is. And you come up with this long list of things that you want to add, step into, evolve into, make happen. But don't forget that you still have life is on that continuum, and that continuum is going to stay true to what it's been doing. It won't just be like all of a sudden drop everything, dream job, dream relationships, dream finances, dream all of it. But gradual evolutions, gradual raising of standards in each of these areas, and systematically and intentionally picking your spots to move each one up in the right way to allow yourself to stay along that continuum and not blow everything else up because you had that sense of, oh, it's a fresh start, forget everything, let's just, completely start anew. That's not how life works either. There is still the mess that is the messy imperfections that are life. And there's beauty in that, and not delusionally thinking that that will all just like beautifully fall off to the side when now you've reset your intentions and recalibrated yourself and your energy transference and all of those things. Being aware that life is still happening and staying on the course while making corrections needed incrementally to systematically evolve and make those changes. So those are just kind of my tips, but the few things that I want to break down that I'm very excited about just on a personal level for this year, for Best Self, for BSW, for kind of all these projects I'm working on. Obviously, yes, Project Ultra is kind of at the forefront of my brain this year just because it, to me, embodies so many different areas of life. Athletically speaking, it's going to push me to a limit that I have never gone to before, not even close. The training is already getting crazy. But fitness and health is going to be going to a new level. Charity is going to be going to a new level. Connection is going to be going to a new level. Contribution, growth, significance, hobbies, education, all of these areas of my life bundled up into just this magnum opus of ultra. Not even just ultra in terms of fitness, ultra in terms of the level at which I'm executing the charity events, executing the community events, executing my personal growth, executing my fitness. So for those of you who don't know about Project Ultra, go check out all the videos, go check out the Facebook page, go check it all out, see how you can get involved. There are a good amount of people who I've been having conversations with who I think are just waiting for it to get closer to officially join and sign up. But as it stands right now, I think well over 50 people are verbally committed. Now, verbal commitment is very different than showing up on the day, but I will assume the best in those people's intentions. So Project Ultra is coming up quicker than you might think. It is in just over 4 months is the first event. Come on out, run, walk whatever distance you want, give to a very deserving charity, have some fun, and get involved in that. Second thing, I'm going to be doing at least quarterly Best Self Squad meetups. So this is going to be a variety of things, possibly going to Devil's Lake one day near Baraboo. I don't know if it's in Baraboo, but near Baraboo. Just take a day, hang out at the park. Anyone who wants to boulder can boulder. Anyone who wants to hike can hike. We'll bring maybe like a slack line. We'll bring like a football, a couple fun different things, and just really, squat up, talk about, the lessons you're learning, books you're reading, and make it a very just positive vibe day doing fun things with people who are like-minded. And so stay tuned for that. Best Self Coaching is going to a whole new level. I do have a couple spots left, so if you have ever wanted to work with me, now I promise you is the time, because as this year gears up and things start picking up, my schedule is only going to get crazier, and those slots are already few and far between. So make that happen. And then BSW, we've got some big things in the books for that, possibly talking a multi-day retreat. So that would be a very exciting thing. And if you are part of a team or a company that wants us to come in, me and JP, Justin Plez, he's been on the podcast, I don't even know how many times at this point, definitely hit us up. We will talk to you about the different workshop concepts that we do, whether it be a business group, a sports team, a school, a gym, you name it. And we will chat with you about what we can do there. But hopefully that just gives you all a few key insights as to, generally speaking, some tips and tricks to make sure that you're starting off the year strong. Get clarity with that mission statement. get clarity around what you want to add by addition with the bucket list and hit list, and then get clarity around addition by subtraction and what is causing unnecessary clutter and energy deficiencies, not just physical, but mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, all of that. Boom. And then all that other stuff. So, one last time, if there was anything at all that you got from this, if you have agreements, disagreements, if you are not yet subscribed, like, subscribe, throw a comment down. And there are plenty more guests coming down the pipeline very soon, I promise you. I just wanted to take an episode and really dive a little deeper into this than a Trev Talk would allow. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I really appreciate everyone who tunes in. Yeah, it's just crazy to think that this group is continuing to grow. I appreciate you all. Definitely hit me up if you have any questions about anything fitness. I am not yet a nutrition coach. That's another thing to be adding, but I do have a lot of knowledge around it. Behavior change, stress management, mindfulness and meditation, Project Ultra, just why I'm so weird. Any questions, hit me up. And until next time, do something crazy. Peace.